Targaryens are plotting to steal Driftmark from Velaryons. It's clear as day because why? They are not Velaryon, and
the bloodline is not enough. You know what I'm saying? To really,
I mean, to them, they're
to him
no
it's
what,
everything.
it's like
but you're planning for the worst. Worst case scenario, Corlys doesn't make it. Doesn't make it, right? And in the event of that, if they don't give me this throne, I'm finna take it.
Viserys was just full on Team Targaryen, team corruption. We are gonna do what I want. That's what's gonna happen. And Vaemond was completely like, the system is corrupt. Like, we're doomed because the skeleton is just too
powerful,
too stubborn. Yes, too powerful. It cannot be defeated. Like,
literally, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna let y'all know, bruh. I'm not feeling y'all." And charge it to my head, not my heart. And they took his head, bruh. It took his head.
Yeah, that's.
What's going on, team? We are back with another episode of the Why I'm Geeked show, man. This is episode 71. Chris with the eyebrows going crazy. Don't think I didn't see you. But y'all have to tune into the YouTube video if y'all want to see Chris do that. But yeah, we're back. House of the Dragon episode 8, man. We only got 2 more, bro. 2 more and this thing is over. But Chris, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. I mean, it's getting real spooky nowadays with Viserys walking around like a zombie. Yeah. So you know Halloween is around the corner.
Yeah, it's crazy how they kind of like timed that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they even thought about that going into it, but it's perfect timing for spooky season. I don't mess with that joint, but I mess with House of the Dragon. So let's get into it, just because, you know, it's just what we're here to do, man. So to start off, man, we start out in Driftmark, right? And we hear that some business had went down. You know what I'm saying? Lord Corlys might be dead. He might be dead. He dying at this point, but he got his throat slashed. And we don't get to see it, bro. How are you feeling about just hearing about the news rather than them, you know, actually showing, you know, not necessarily his demise, because we don't know if he actually died yet, but, you know.
Well, even to start off, bro, I mean, they start this off. Technically, we time jumped. And we're picking up, okay, so he's in danger. He may be gone. Rhaenys, I think that's her name, is a little salty. She's on the throne, but she's technically like acting as the ruler while he's gone. Right. And you know, the little bro's like, hey, watch your place. So I was just trying to get a grasp of, okay, what's going on? Boom, someone's dying. What does that mean? Yeah. And where's Rhaenyra? Like, so overall, I'm kind of just was confused, just trying to gather.
So do you think like the time skip was like a bad time skip? Like, do you think like we kind of got thrown into it in a way that it was just the story?
That when they said he was injured and he has some type of disease and it's kind of hard to come back from or whatever, and he's away at sea. Yeah. Like, I was like, okay, so now we're in the future. What does that necessarily mean today? Like, who's with who? Right. What's going on? Like, I needed to know immediately because it was just such a big kind of like major player. Yeah. If he's gone, it's automatically off screen. Yeah. What's next? Who's coming down the line? Is Daemon there at Driftmark 2 or something like that? Like, even his daughter, was there with Rhaenys. Yep. I feel like I'm messing up her name, but
you saying it right?
Was right there. Yeah. So it's kind of like, is she already married to someone? Is there like a succession plan at all? But the bro was like, nope. Like, hey, just so you know, right? This place mine, Driftmark mine. I was like, oh, okay. I'm trying to pick up where we're at right now. So not too bad a time skip, but just starting off with such a major character, potentially injured, potentially gone. I mean, we really don't know still. Yeah. We just know he's in danger.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think like the actual situation it wasn't a bad place to start because it just intensifies like, you know, the scenario and the tension and stuff in the room. But to go from, you know, last episode being like a really long time away, and going into this with no context to even like, you know, seeing if they would take a major character out like this, you know what I'm saying? Because Corlys has been, you know, one of the major, you know, plot progressors in the series so far. So to like really just take him out like that, I was just like, dang, like you can't do my man's like that. He gotta survive at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm hoping that he does make a return, because that'd just be a dirty way to go out. You know what I'm saying? Off screen like that. But as far as the uncle Vaemond, you know, I understood his plight at this point. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing second fiddle his whole life. You know, anytime he has something to say, Corlys would sit there and check him. And in this scenario, he's just like, yo, if there's ever going to be an opportunity, the time is now. You know, I would have thought that he would have came with, you know, some more backing other than, you know, just the Queen That Never Was, or niece, like somebody like bring something else to the table other than the bloodline aspect to like what you really plan to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like you could even come to an agreement where like, okay, maybe this is just a temporary type thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't like, we can see how things go, you know, and I think that, you know, later on in the episode it'll show proof that even more, like you can't just like, the bloodline is not enough. You know what I'm saying? To really,
I mean, to them, they're
to him
no
it's
what,
everything.
it's like
but
I think they said at the end of the episode, it's like a pink elephant in the room, like black, silver hair.
Right.
And they're kind of just saying like, that's a Velaryon. Like that's a Velaryon. And at the end of the day, he's like, a Velaryon is Driftmark.
Right.
And I guess it was kind of alluding to what we're going to see in the episode, because it was kind of like
foreshadowing.
Yeah, the succession plan. Everybody with their eyes should be able to see who should be the next leader type thing. So.
Right. Yeah. So like having that same frustration, like is you know, ended up being his demise, and we'll get into that later on. But like this first introductory scene, this is the most lines he done had this whole series. And you could already tell the type of vibe that he was on during the Battle of the Stepstones. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mess with Daemon, and you know, Daemon was and Corlys are like not necessarily two peas in a pod, but they work well together. And you know,
Corlys understands like the Targaryen prestige that comes along with it. Like being an ally with a Targaryen and Velaryon is very, very important compared to what his bro be thinking.
Right, where he wants to be more insular and just focus on straight Velaryons and Driftmark itself. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. But you know, after that we cut to Dragonstone with you know, Daemon doing his best Nate from Uncharted impression, trying to find them dragon eggs, which is the first time we actually seen like what it really looks like when they, you know, go and get them dragon eggs, because it makes sense that they will go out and make their nest somewhere else, especially just because they're still wild animals, you know what I'm saying? But just it's not what I expected when I thought of like what, you know, a dragon nest would look like, you know. And for him to be able to go there in a clean slate, nobody guarding the place or anything like that, I was like, okay, that's cool, you know. And then the fact that I think it was Rhaenyra's dragon that had the babies, and it was like 3 of them. I was like, they're acquiring a lot of power right now, you know what I'm saying? And Daemon was just continues to prove that he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Continue to prove
that. I can't ignore this. The dragon eggs are inside a bunch of poop. Like it looked like he done scooped it out some poop, and then boom,
it did. It was dark. It was dark, but it was like molten poop though. It was like molten lava type thing.
And eggs come from poop. And I think those 3 dragon eggs, I really don't know, but are those the 3 dragon eggs that don't hatch for like years?
Could be. What if that's the case?
That'd be very, very cool. Because when they said 3, I just thought
they
said dragons didn't hatch for a long time. So.
Right. My only thing about that is, you know, there's still a lot of time in between, but that 3 is very key. I didn't think about that when I was watching.
Because they said that dragons hadn't been around forever, so
right. But
if
I'm still
we just saw 3. I mean, it kind of seems like it matches up with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm still waiting for that moment to see like the dragons looking a lot smaller and like starting to understand like the defects in them and why they not necessarily die out, because obviously they're still in Game of Thrones, but just starting to see the decline of them. At this point, it don't seem like they're, because this is supposed to be when the Targaryens are at their strongest. So at this point, it doesn't necessarily seem that the dragons are in danger of becoming extinct, essentially. But I think it was still cool to see that. I didn't really like make the poop connection when I was watching. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was geeked to see it, and I never think about like, the only people that was probably going to be able to get it was going to be a Targaryen, just because they could control the dragons, essentially. Like the dragon keepers or whatever, they got them sticks, but like that's not gonna do nothing really against no big dragon for real. So that was a cool thing. But then we cut to seeing Jace, and we get to see little Joffrey, which was the youngest prior in the prior episode that Rhaenyra just had. And surprisingly, man, Rhaenyra just been popping these babies out. Like we get to see that later on as well. But we see Jace starting to learn, High Valyrian, and trying to understand, like, just learning his role essentially. And the time skip as far as like the character's growth, I would expect it, the older one to look not necessarily a lot older, but be at least a little bit bigger than what he was. You know what I'm saying? Because he still kind of looked like a kid at this point. Like I think they're like 17 or something like that at this point in the story. But he's not the brightest, which could lean to just how the Alicent's kids is able to manipulate them and get them riled up so easily, when they could just ignore things. But that's to each his own. But find out that not only Rhaenyra is pregnant, but they hear the news of Lord Corlys, and now there's this decision, you know what I'm saying, and they have to go back to King's Landing to make sure that Luke still is the Lord of Driftmark and make sure that his succession still stands, essentially. So, this is the major thing that brings all these characters back together, and we basically are seeing the introduction, or like just the show is starting, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody's just getting everything settled, just catching up with the characters and things like that. And how did you feel about like just Rhaenyra taking like those steps as like not necessarily his teacher, but just her like advice, or like what's a better word for it, just input, and how he's learning things essentially? I thought it was nice.
I mean, it's just another issue I have with Rhaenyra. Like, she just fails left and right to secure her position as the future queen. Like, you didn't even teach your 2 sons that are bastards Valyrian. This is ridiculous, Rhaenyra. Like, he is struggling with speaking the language. Yet you got Aegon and
big age. Yeah,
they know it, no problem.
Right.
And you know who their father is. So it's like, you better do every single thing to make sure they're on the money with this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Rhaenyra, you're killing me. Like I said, how old are they? 16, 17
17 at least, yeah.
Bro, that's too late. That's way too late. They had me try to learn Spanish in like 5th, 6th, 7th grade. And then I took it. Then I took it in high school.
Yeah.
I took 2 years of Spanish in high school.
They offered it in middle school. I didn't take it though, but I know what you're talking about.
Bro, I know the numbers, I know the countries, and you expect this man to be able to talk to dragons still, he's mixing up. It's gonna be so hard. And I'm just like, Rhaenyra, I don't know why you make it so difficult to secure your position, yet you want to complain about, oh, I'm gonna be the heir. Just make everything clean as day. Like, oh, my kids, they know High Valyrian, they're politicians, they fight well. They don't do none of that. Like, she be making me so mad, man.
Yeah, like you would think. Nah, you're good, bro, because you would think that they would, prepare them. I wasn't too much tripping off the Valyrian because I feel like it was probably like, she was having all them babies too. So I mean, if they're left without not necessarily no supervision, but Daemon's not really tripping off them like that because those not his kids, so he's not gonna be pressed to teach them anything necessarily. But Rhaenyra's been having babies. She's pregnant right now. You would think that somebody in Dragonstone would be there to build them up to being strong, literally strong. And they're not there.
And that's a trigger word for them. Strong. I know. You can't be saying that around them.
You can't say that around them, right? So you would think that would be a thing, right? But even with Aegon, it's like the only person really that has made a significant change in like their, I don't want to say stature, but just like you could actually see growth in them is Aemon. Just because he had his moment, and since that moment, he's only just continued to progress. Like it's kind of like a study of like the human condition. You get a certain set of scenarios, and one person it could take it and run with it and use it as motivation, and some people could go insular and just internally just fold and then end up understanding why they become the way they become. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely like a nature versus nurture type thing. Like I feel like Rhaenyra, as far as making good humans, has done a good job, but like as far as she like I feel like I'm gonna shoot her some bail right now just because she didn't have that person, because the king just been folding since day one, but she didn't have that strong person in her life to kind of guide her in that way, except like her mother probably. But after that point, Viserys has kind of just been a pushover. So like none of them have really been pressed to be on the throne and like been power hungry in a sense of like, I need to do exactly everything as like possible to make sure nobody can question me. It's more so like Rhaenyra is just like, this is what I've been told, so I'm gonna just, it's already been said. We don't have to do nothing else.
Like that's her main issue. Like she just goes through the whole series, like, oh, I'm gonna be queen, and then just left and right, episode after episode, we just see another reason why it makes sense why she could potentially lose the throne. Like, she just keeps dropping the ball left and right. Like she keeps penalties after penalties, and it's just like probably at the season finale, it's gonna cost you the game. Like, that's it.
She's just following in her father's footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but her dad is like a different scenario. Like he is just completely. He doesn't want any conflict. He's lived through peace the entire time he's been king, and he doesn't want to mess up the gravy train. Rhaenyra is just like, oh, I know people don't want me to be queen, but I'm gonna just do anything possible because I want to do it. And then still claim, well, I'm supposed to be queen, so it kind of don't matter. And it's just like, you make sure you make it there first. You got to make it to the finish line before you start saying, oh, I'm the queen. And it's just like, she just be catching L's her entire life.
Yeah. But let's move on to King's Landing, bro. Everybody has made it there. And, when Rhaenyra and Daemon make their entrance to the keep, nobody's there to greet them. It's not necessarily disrespectful because they had somebody pull up at the last minute, but you can tell, things are not the same from the infrastructure of the castle, things looking different in the architecture. And who do you see in the big seat? Alicent. Alicent's running the freaking show, bruh, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But what was your initial thoughts like after, seeing them walk through the keep and seeing like the different how things have changed and things like that?
Yeah. I really loved it because they kind of showed that transition. It was like more gloomy and not as beautiful as before.
Yeah.
And it really showed how they're slowly transitioning to this whole 7 gods that where we remember in Game of Thrones, and how crazy once you put religion into something, it gets ridiculous. And you went from worshiping kind of like the Targaryens, the rulers, to more like godly figures and them like transitioning to a different society than Targaryens.
Yeah.
And even though the king is still there, it's just kind of like over time, wow, I haven't realized that, they've been making some major changes, and we kind of know how crazy those changes are going to affect the future. So I thought it was really cool. I mean, at some point you had to see that happen. I'm just glad we kind of saw it.
Yeah, it was something that I didn't necessarily recognize at first until until Rhaenyra brought it up. But I was like, as soon as she said it, I was like, oh, she's pulling a Cersei before Cersei was even born. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, Alicent, like some people buying her story, bro, I'm not buying it, not one bit, bro. Alicent is a menace, bro. She is a menace, and she's using the religion to hide in the shadows and be able to make decisions without, King Viserys, who is a king no more, basically at this point. Decisions, they are running the show with her father as the hand as well. Like they just got a monopoly on the whole situation, and the way that they're masking it is through the seven gods. So it was for me a telltale sign of like, okay, I see where things could get really rocky at this point.
And she's rocking that new gold necklace with the 7 pointed stars. It's like you see it.
Right. And I'm feeling like, okay, this is how she, like, I don't think that, her belief is a front, but this is how she is coping with her newfound situation. Because before, initially, she sent the Roachman to take out the Strongs, when she found out the news, she was like kind of like in shock and in awe, like of like, why did you do that? That's not what I asked. But it's literally what you asked. Like there's no other way to get around it. So, I feel like for her, this was a way to kind of cope with that whole, doing bad to do good type of thing. If, we sit here and, repent and do all this other stuff to make it, make them still feel that same sense of, what's the word? Not royalty, but sense of self, I guess. Righteousness. There you go. Because they're very self-righteous, especially Alicent and her plight. But really, she's no different from anybody else. So seeing that and just her whole demeanor throughout this portion of the episode was like, oh yeah, she's showing her true colors at this point.
And she's still wearing green.
Facts. Everybody wearing green. Even the kids. Even the kids are still wearing green, or a shade of green and black, and essentially. But how did you feel about like Daemon, Alicent, and first Daemon and Rhaenyra went and saw the king. You know. Yeah. So like that was a super major scene in this joint, because just seeing, both of their reactions, it felt very like it humanized them a lot. Because if you ever been in that situation and seen somebody on basically their deathbed, it's like a very, very like weird type of feeling. Like some people react differently. Some people act like Rhaenyra. Some people act like Daemon, where Daemon couldn't even walk in the room at first. He's like, man, this is my brother. I can't even believe we're in this situation. So like, how did you feel about just not only that, but seeing what the king looks like now?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just a good scene overall. Yeah. I like the fact that, I mean, he's looking super ghoulish for spooky season, but
yeah,
I like the fact that kind of Rhaenyra is a little bit different temperament compared to Daemon. Daemon's more of like, let's just go get straight to the business, because I don't want to talk about like
this.
Like this.
it's avoiding it.
We're here to really talk about this brother type thing because he looks so much worse compared to like Daemon type thing. Like you would think at least if the king is looking like this, Daemon's probably got a walking stick or something. Like
I mean, Daemon was his kid brother though too.
Yeah, but
so
like
it's like at least 15 years on him. But Daemon hasn't aged at all.
Yeah,
so it's like Daemon it's bad.
barely aging, and then the king is like,
I mean, look at
95 type.
Yeah, like look at the hand. Otto really hasn't aged that much either. So that's
where the king looks ghoulish. This man is a skeleton all episode, so it was kind of like, dang. So I just thought overall it's a good scene, and definitely for sure now we're seeing Viserys is completely drugged off his mind and kind of just he can't do nothing. Everyone's just waiting for the ball to roll, like the inevitable.
Yeah, and for me, it really hit when we start to see like the little things, like the makeup department and cosmetics and stuff like that. They did their thing with Viserys. Like he looked atrocious, and it was for me, it was the teeth and the nails that really got me. I was like, oh my gosh, like we don't get to see the other side of his face till later on in the episode, but that was just even worse, So, I think it was a good scene just because of what I said prior as well, but it kind of set the tone for things moving forward. You could tell like, okay, this is probably gonna be it for this man, and he even said it like, how long has it been, right, since the last time they seen each other? And it sucks that this is what brings them together. Like it takes something political happening for the families to get brought together, because at the end of the day they're still family. That's her dad and that's his brother. You know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy scenario. But after that, I also thought it was cool, before I move on, I also thought it was cool that Daemon was like, you could see that he was taken aback, but when he gave him the milk of the poppy, he was like, he had to smell it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are they doing to you? And I was just like, I felt for Dan. I was like, oh man, that's a good brother right there. You know what I'm saying? But after that, they meet up with Alicent, or Alicent meets up with them essentially, and we see the smoke, we see the tension, like from first sight. Daemon didn't even get out of his chair when she stepped in. You know what I'm saying? So how did you feel about the static there in that scenario?
It's just another good scene because it reinforces kind of where they last left off. I mean, technically they're not associated. The family is kind of splintered since the last event with Alicent. Right. So even Rhaenyra is kind of standoffish, and Daemon's like, "Yo, you've been drugging up my brother to keep him going," and she's like, "Yeah, there ain't no other way."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also prior to that, we saw her dealing with the whole situation with Aegon messing with the housekeep, and we get to see how she deals with that situation. And that was another situation where I felt like I still don't trust her, bro. Like people saying like, she showed kindness to this girl and things like that.
I just don't even know what the point of that
whole
scene and everything was about, because like, all right, so Aegon is pretty much nasty as ever.
Yeah. He ain't changed.
What's the character development for this situation? I do not understand it. So is it just to show that Alicent literally does not care? Like
I mean, essentially, yeah. But did you see the trailer for the next episode?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like that was really the only point. It was just a plot point to say that
maybe it didn't work. Oh,
yeah, because that kid that we saw in the hay bale, he had white hair.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was just speculating that was just him messing out with other people. Like he had something going on. But
I mean,
that's why I was saying like it's kind of weird, because if they want to show that Aegon is this type of person,
right?
All right, so he's just completely out here being nasty.
Yeah.
Is that the character development, that he's not in his right mind, and then Alicent is just doesn't even care? She's going to do anything to put her family on the throne type thing. It was just a weird overall scene, because I kind of didn't understand its its actual true motive for that scene, that interaction? Like, is it just to show that these people are dirty? Like, I didn't know.
I feel like it was more so a show for Alicent and how she does business. Because yes, she consoled the girl, but her face never changed. You know what I'm saying? Like her,
like she's still team Aegon on throne no matter what. And I'm gonna put my enemies to bed and make sure we're covered type thing. Or the people think if they heard that you did, they'll say that you
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Enticed them type thing.
Yeah, like literally, like it didn't matter like about the girl. Like it didn't, like she was more upset that, you know, Aegon was committing the act, but not in the act itself, but more so in the perception of like what that will look like if word got out, you know, because like she was like, yeah, you said you won't tell nobody, but you already told 3 people essentially, you know what I'm saying? And you know, she paid her some hush money that didn't even look like it was going to last that long. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how much was in the bag, but it was like, I mean, it definitely could have been a lot worse if it was Cersei. We probably wouldn't even got this scene. You know what I'm saying? But like people saying that this was a way that like Alicent showing her remorse or whatever. I was just like, yo, I'm not buying this, bro. Her face didn't change with none of this.
It was just like this scene.
Another day at work.
Like it was the directors just wanted to have a scene to show that they're dirty. And I'm just kind of like, I didn't get why we had to have this scenario. Like we already knew Aegon was a wild boy type thing. Didn't care. So now we know he's dirty. And then we just know that Alicent is doing whatever she can to get him on the throne, like covering up, doing anything. I'm just like, I kind of feel like we didn't even need that scenario, but I mean, they showed it to us. They just showed us like another, I don't know, like plot point that they're just not, nobody deserves to be on the throne type thing.
Facts. Yeah. It was just something I was like, okay, this is okay. And I was just like, all right.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I was like,
yeah. But getting back to Rhaenyra and Alicent, you know, there was still smoke obviously there because they cut to showing a scene of her wrist and things like that, and it's just it's crazy how, like, you know, Rhaenyra even took seeing all the different stars and stuff on around the castle, and also like on her chest, and like seeing how much things have changed, you know. And I'm like, yo, they are really trying to run the table, bro, because essentially they was already doing what they wanted, right? Alicent and the Hand Hightower, but at this point, with like, they want to keep Viserys alive as long as possible, because at this point they're just stacking chips, you know. They're putting things in place where, you know, you already know where their allegiances lie when it comes to Rhaenyra and Daemon. So when they're coming up with these decisions in the council, like, it's just a foregone conclusion, like what's really going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
And like, I think though it kind of hints to like Viserys' main problem as a king. Like, he's just so about not really rocking the boat or disturbing the peace type king, that even his wife, who apparently is more religious than Viserys,
right?
Like, she's like, oh, what if we hang like this here, we change up the decor. Like, it doesn't seem too harmless.
Yeah.
But overall, that's probably going to change the way, you know, how societies go from like one type of religion to a different type of religion type thing. And then now your whole people are worshiping different stuff. And it's kind of like that whole respect may go from worshiping gods compared to doing everything for the king, for like Targaryens. So like before they'd be like, oh, a Targaryen's got to sit on the throne. And then nowadays, maybe their mindset, because of they're worshiping more of the Seven, they're just kind of like, maybe we can go with anyone type thing. Like,
right. Yeah, I agree with that. But after this though, everybody else arrives from Sir Vaemond and Rhaenys, and you know, Sir Vaemond makes his claim to Alicent and Otto Hightower, and they're basically like, yeah, like we would like this, you know what I'm saying? Because it just, you know, them two connected still would, you know, everybody wins still, you know. Rhaenyra doesn't get one of her kids on the in the Driftmark, and they still have the biggest navy, you know, in their back pocket, you know, because like all the claims that Sir Vaemond is making make sense, right? Like, who would you rather have? Somebody that has experience in, you know, running battleships and stuff like that, and running all of these missions, or a child that, you know, has just basically been raised to be kind and just straight up like just still like a kid, you know, and like he still has like the, you know, he's literally the blood of Corlys, you know, so they could kind of reset and get back to status quo essentially, and possibly make things better for the realm essentially. But they basically come up with their plan, essentially saying that like, yo, you're gonna make your claim, everybody's gonna make their claim, we're basically gonna choose you. You know, so we get that insight in this scene. So how did you feel about that? Like, did you feel like it was more so like a easy plan, or like did you feel like there was still some wiggle room that like they might ask for something else? Because I felt like still Vaemond should have brought something else to the table other than just the fact that he's literally Viserys's, I mean, not Viserys, but Corlys's blood. Like, what else are you going to offer?
The main thing is Vaemond was saying is that let's you know, the king is crazy, and we all know that he's been lying to us the whole time. Like, these kids are not Velaryon, no matter what anyone says. Yeah. I know what a Velaryon looks like, and it's just kind of like, let's stop kidding ourselves. We've been dancing around this subject for centuries. Mm-hmm. We are not going to pass Driftmark down to a non-Velaryon who is this people. So pass it down to me. Like, I get the king, what the king wants, but it's not right type thing. It's not the right decision.
Yeah.
So let me take it type thing. And of course, Rhaenyra is just like, oh no, these are the true vote. And like, it's like all this mumbo jumbo, but Vaemond is just literally telling them the truth straight up.
Yeah.
Like, just because the king's been saying that it's supposed to go down my brother's blood, this is not my brother's blood, and we all know it type thing. So,
exactly.
I mean, I think it's a good scene. I think he makes the strongest case ever because everyone in the freaking kingdom knows the truth. I mean, no, the only person who just doesn't want to believe it is literally King Viserys, and he's now in bed rest. So it kind of makes sense to push for it.
It's not even so much that he doesn't believe it; he doesn't care. He doesn't care that.
Yeah, probably doesn't care.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still they're still his grandchildren at the end of the day. Like, he might not be related to y'all, but they related to me. So this is what we're finna do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of like Driftmark belongs to a Velaryon, not a Targaryen type thing.
Right.
So even like that's like his point the entire time. Like Viserys is saying, "Oh well, my grandchildren." Yeah, you're ignoring the fact that they're not Velaryon ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Vaemond is mad about. Like, what else? Everyone in the kingdom knows what a Velaryon looks like.
Yeah.
Daemon literally had 2 kids with a Velaryon. How'd they come out? Black, silver hair. Like, it's it's wild. And just think about a Velaryon and a Targaryen, and they made 2 kids that have brown hair. Yeah. This is insanity. You guys are crazy. Like, and it's just kind of like everyone in the kingdom knows it. But because the king's word is final, it's literally like, oh yeah, we don't care. But to Vaemond, no, you're not giving away our land to someone that's completely not Velaryon. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. But my thing with Vaemond is that if that's the case, like, okay, make your claim, right? And then I'm saying, like, make your claim, right? But even if they deny it, okay, if they deny it, then what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? He said he would go to war, but we ain't say no show of force, no show of nothing. Like, he pulled up with like 6 people. you know, and most of them, 4 of them were flag bearers. You know what I'm saying? So
he wasn't gonna just go fight them. He was literally just making the claim, like protesting it.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like do that to King's Landing. I'm saying like when you get back home, you know, like I'm thinking like, yo, I got this person. This is what we finna do. I already told you, sister-in-law.
You don't do that beforehand.
Yeah, but you don't get no after if you blow up before you get a chance to. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in this scenario,
you're saying he should have started plotting war before he goes and makes his proclamation type thing.
I'm saying if you're ready to go to war then. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. They're his allies. Like his brother is the one who owns Driftmark. No, he's just making the claim.
Yeah, I understand that he's making the claim, but what I'm saying is you make the claim, but you don't lose your head if you make the claim and you make it back. So why, you know what I'm saying? Like it made for good TV, right? And we'll get to this portion of the thing, but you could already tell like he's so much of a hothead that like he didn't have nobody in his corner telling him like, okay, we make the claim, right? But
yeah,
like when he would overstep, you know, Corlys was always there to make sure like he doesn't go crazy and, you know, step too far over the line, which ended up being his demise. You know what I'm saying? Like with you know, Corlys with Vaemond.
He did that with his first thing though. Remember, he has 2 speeches.
What do you mean? Like you saying in his first speech?
Yeah, his first speech was literally him just saying, you know, I'm saying that I should be the inheritor of Driftmark, blah, 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 blah.
You talking about his 2 speeches in King's Landing? Or are you talking about his 2 speeches? Okay. Yeah. No, I understand.
And then the second one is where he oversteps because he's literally like, this is craziness. Right. Like, you are being crazy.
Right. So if he had somebody in his corner and not just him, you know what I'm saying?
It was supposed to be Rhaenys, though. And she didn't back
She never promised him that, though.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he's saying.
Yes.
The Targaryens are plotting to steal Driftmark from Velaryons. It's clear as day because why? They are not Velaryon. And then, of course, Rhaenys, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah.
I think those are the true. She knows they ain't Velaryon.
Bro, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is live to fight another day. That's all I'm trying to get across. Is like like if he had a hand or if he had somebody in his corner that was really, really for him, you know.
Yeah, but who are you talking about then?
I don't know. He didn't bring nobody. Exactly what I'm saying. He didn't bring anybody else. It's just his plan in his own head. And Corlys was that person for him essentially before.
No, Corlys is his whole thing is it's more about the Velaryon name.
No, I'm saying his temper. I'm saying his temper. The character himself. I'm saying like that the character himself needed somebody else there for when, you know, like if
I got you.
Like only thing I'm saying is if he was prepared to go to war for this, right?
But he's not the leader of Driftmark. You know what I mean? He's the brother.
Like I know he's not the leader, bro.
So what do you want him to do, bro? He can't prepare an army. He's not the leader.
Bro,
what is he gonna do?
You trying to tell me we seen how people have taken over their houses before. You know what I'm saying?
So you want his brother to take over Corlys' house?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If he's dead, who else gonna do it? What I'm saying.
That's what they don't know yet, and that's why he's saying a succession plan. I'm gonna go and say that if he is dead, let's go ahead and make an agreement that I get Driftmark.
I know, Chris. That's not what I'm disagreeing with.
What you're saying is he should already be plotting to overthrow Driftmark and then go to King's Landing, pretty much saying
no. That's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying you go through the process, and if you get denied, what's the process?
Yes, tell me that process. That's all I need to know.
Okay,
tell me exactly.
Yeah, so the process is you make the first claim to the council, right? They back you, okay? You make the second claim to everybody.
That didn't happen. No one backed them.
No, what? What do you mean? Alicent
no one backed them on the first claim.
Alicent and the Hand was basically like, yeah, like, okay, like we'll hear your claim, but you know, I like what you're talking about right now. That's the vibe I got from it.
Yeah,
so
they're saying good. They're saying good. Now we're hearing Rhaenyra. Like no one backed anyone yet. Remember?
No, I don't understand what you're saying now. I feel like you're mixing the two conversations.
No, first, Vaemond came up and said that I should be Driftmark. Then they brought up Rhaenyra.
No, Chris, I'm talking before that. I'm talking about before when he went to the council. He first went to them, didn't he? There was three claims.
Rhaenyra's there with them. What are you talking about?
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
I'm not talking about when Otto was on the Iron Throne. I'm talking about when they were in the council. Didn't that happen too?
What council?
The table when they got the little ball
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
When he because we didn't get to that part in the episode yet, where they first show Vaemond and then they show what's his name getting to we don't see Rhaenys enter.
Vaemond was telling them about their brother, the situation going on with their brother type.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And he was making his claim saying like, okay, I understand this situation. If it comes to it, this is why I'm prepared to claim at the thing. And they were saying like, okay, and they were saying like, okay, like, yeah, we mess with that. Like, yeah, do that. So that's basically him getting their initial backing, right? If all things go right, he will get Driftmark, correct?
So the issue though is how do they do that?
Who?
How does Vaemond, how do they do that? Remember, the king said, "Why is there even talks about this?"
But Chris, the king wasn't supposed to be there. The king wasn't supposed to be there.
So then, when he does that exact plan, they say, "Okay, we heard from you. Now we're going to hear from Rhaenyra."
Yeah.
Right.
First, Rhaenyra interrupted him, though.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, what is his plan that you're talking about? Because what I'm saying is, he did it right. He presented just the plan. But what you were saying, it was like he should have a plan to go to war if everything don't go right. I was like,
no, I'm not go to war at this direct second. That's not what I'm saying.
So what's the process then? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so can I get to it? Can I get to the process? All right. So I'm starting from the beginning because we got stuck at the second. No. We got stuck at the second claim. So first he makes the claim to Rhaenys, right? Rhaenys not really going for it. He doesn't really know where she's going to land, right? She could end up supporting him, she could end up not. Okay. Then we get to the second one, which is when he first gets to King's Landing and he's talking to the council with Alicent and Otto, right? Yep. And it was like, okay, we like what you're doing. All right. Make the claim in front of everybody, and then we're going to proceed then, right? Then he starts to make his third claim, which is in front of everybody. Rhaenyra gets interrupted, right? And if things go his way, King Viserys never makes an appearance and they grants him the thing, right? But since only thing I'm saying is since King Viserys stepped up and said, why are we even having this conversation? He blew up, right?
Yeah.
He blew up.
So what's the process that you want him to do there?
I want him to be like, okay, like, you saying that this is not a thing? All right, bet. I already told Rhaenys what I'm finna do when I get back. Once I get back, it's up. That's all I'm saying.
What are you saying there? That's what I'm asking.
What I'm saying.
What is his plan? What is the process after they say no?
You go back to Driftmark and you get whoever is on your side to take over Driftmark.
So so you're saying he should go back to Driftmark.
He said he would take it by force. He already said that.
By force from his brother.
Yes. Not from his brother, from Rhaenys. Because from
Rhaenys.
Yes. Yes.
And then go to war with the Targaryens. That's what I'm saying. You're literally saying he should just plot war.
Yeah, if that's what he wants. If that's the end game, but he never got a chance to because he blew up before he got a chance to go back. So what I'm saying is if he had somebody there as well in his corner there's
nobody. That's what I'm saying.
That's his issue. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Chris.
That's what he's not the leader. So it's like your brother trying to overthrow your kingdom. And then he's like, yeah, we should do this. But we've never seen someone on screen with Vaemond's plot. We've never seen anyone on the screen with Vaemond's plot.
Right, because this is still fresh
to his brother.
This is still fresh though.
So you're saying long term he should have just been a snake and just slowly plotted to overthrow his brother type thing.
Not overthrow his brother, because his brother would have been dead, Chris. That's what I'm saying.
But we don't know that. That's the thing.
Chris.
He's just pitching, if my brother's actually dead, give it to me. That's all he's doing.
Yes.
So, but what you're saying is he still doesn't know if his brother's dead. You're saying if they say no to my plan, I'm still going to overthrow my brother in Driftmark.
No.
That's what you're saying.
No, because at this point, everybody thinks that Corlys is not going to make it. Right.
Yes.
So what he's planning for, you're planning for the worst. Worst case scenario, Corlys doesn't make it. Doesn't make it, right? And in the event of that, if they don't give me this throne, I'm finna take it. Because you know what I'm saying?
But you're saying the same thing, that he's gonna go to war and steal Driftmark. And then the Targaryens are gonna go to war with him.
Maybe. We don't know if they're gonna actually go to war because they don't have to. They don't have like he can take it, and because Viserys. But listen,
is Targaryen. They would go to war because their brother usurped their own kingdom. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have an arm. If he was Corlys, it would make more sense to already have an army ready to go, saying we are claiming you guys are trying to insert Targaryens into Velaryon land. They're not.
He doesn't see them as Targaryens. He sees them as Velaryons.
Yeah,
he doesn't care about blood.
I'm talking about his brother. That's why I'm saying his brother. To me, he did everything right.
Yes, except he blew up at the end. That's what I'm saying. If he didn't blow up, he still would have had his chance to take the throne if he really wanted to. And I'm only talking about Driftmark. I'm only talking about that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The only thing about Driftmark I'm saying is he's not the leader. So if you wanted him just to keep it cool,
he's second in command. Is he not second in command?
Yeah, but you're talking about him overthrowing his brother.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about his brother is being dead. That's what I'm saying.
It's not confirmed yet. That's all I'm saying. So you want him to go back and wait until it gets confirmed that his brother is dead and then overthrow Rhaenys. That's what you're saying, right?
I want him to live to fight another day. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but
because he blew up,
I'm saying his brother dies. If his brother dies, he's back at Driftmark.
Right. They don't give him the throne.
They don't give him the throne. You want him to overthrow the Targaryens, right?
I want him to overthrow Rhaenys.
So the Driftmark would then go to Rhaenyra's kid.
It's already going to her kid, though.
Yeah. So no matter what, she's gonna overthrow one of the Targaryens. Like, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna go to war. So that's all I'm saying.
Regardless,
yeah,
she lived to fight another day. Regardless, she lived to fight another day. That's the only thing I'm saying. If he had some more backing in the sense of having somebody there, because he's known to be a hothead, right? To walk him back, because all it took was for Daemon.
Another episode, they show more Velaryons have this resentment for Targaryen,
bro.
But they don't.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Your plan, where you're saying we've never seen them actually.
So you think Vaemond is by himself in this thinking?
Yeah, because we've never seen anyone other than Vaemond. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, if one person thinks this way, what makes you think that nobody else thinks this way? Because they already look different from everybody else. People are already questioning if this is the case. You don't think he would get the backing? You don't think he would get the backing from somebody if Corlys is dead?
Exactly what you just said. Corlys is married to a Targaryen woman, and they've had multiple kids, yet everyone is still following that Corlys is cool.
They both dead, though.
But no, what you just said, wouldn't everyone have the same thinking? Corlys is thinking the same way. It doesn't matter. As long as their name is Velaryon, I'm cool with it. Wouldn't everyone be thinking the same way? Like, it's just the same thing.
If he really feels like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you think he would have different? Why wouldn't, like, if he's willing, but bro, if he's willing to say to Rhaenys, I'm willing to take the throne. You don't think you think he's going to take the throne by himself?
I'm saying we have not seen anything on screen.
But just because it didn't happen, you don't think that he had that mentality? Was what I'm saying. Like, just because we didn't see it happen.
He says it on screen, like you said. He has that mentality. But what you're saying is, I'm confused. He's going to make a fake army out of nowhere versus the Targaryens.
No.
He's gonna go against all the Targaryens.
That's the second step. That would be the second part of the war. I'm only talking about the first step of getting Driftmark. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yes, but
because that's the only thing he cares about.
What people? That's what I'm saying. What's the process? Because he would have to.
It would be the Velaryon. It would be the Velaryon.
Exactly. He would have to get all the Velaryon to do that.
Yes.
We have not seen the Velaryon being like, forget this Targaryen rule type. No. Why? Because if they go through with the plan, it's gonna be Daemon's child or Daemon's kid with Rhaenyra's kid, and then they would take over Driftmark. It's the same thing, but
he's not hip to that plan, though.
Yeah,
he's not hip to that. He's only thinking about Driftmark.
To overthrow just straight up because it's kind of like, all of Driftmark knows that Rhaenyra's kids, if they come to succession, they're not Velaryon. But we've never seen them. We don't like the Targaryens. We don't like Rhaenyra's kid. You know what I mean? We've never seen that. So I'm just like, how do you build an army that way?
Right. So Chris, just as easy as you can say we've never seen people say that they don't rock with Rhaenyra's kids like that, we've also haven't seen them saying that we do. So that's the
same thing. That's why I'm saying he did everything right, though. Like, to me, he did everything fine. Or Vaemond did everything fine.
Until he blew up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Until he blew up, that's where he messed up. Because regardless if King Viserys says, like, if he goes through the whole process and then Vaemond's just like, all right, bet, say no more. You know what I'm saying? Say less, right? And then he goes back to Driftmark. He could still build it from that day. Yeah. But he never gets the chance because he doesn't have nobody like Corlys. It doesn't have to be his older brother. I'm just saying somebody else in his corner, literally that's by his side. Yeah. He doesn't have.
So you wanted him to make like a secret Velaryon sect and show him like in another season attempt to take Driftmark back.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you wanted.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I wanted him to live to fight another day. That's all I'm saying, because he got snuck at the end of the day. He didn't know Daemon was going to do that, but he knew as soon as he said that that Rhaenyra was not only a whore, but she had bastards, that he just gave up at that point. And I'm just like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you was really about it,
that's why I'm thinking he knows there is no
other way.
Yeah, it's literally like society is telling him, no matter what, this kid is gonna succeed because why? Your brother is cool with it.
Right.
The king is saying it's gonna happen, and then the Targaryens are in control of your entire livelihood, your entire family, like everything. And he is literally the character that's like, I cannot live in this fantasy world where the truth is not being said. Like the truth is they're clearly not Velaryon. And to Vaemond, he's like, I would rather die. Like us sneaking back, it's kind of like your Velaryon house is part Targaryen already, like already infected with the belief, like, their family no matter what now. But he's like, they are not true Velaryon bloodline. Yeah. They're not of Velaryon.
Yeah.
And no matter what my brother says, because his brother doesn't care, because he knows. His brother knows. He just wants the Velaryon name to live on. Vaemond is no. It has to be Velaryon blood.
Yes.
So if you're saying he should have went back and created like a cult, a secret cult that would eventually plot to kill.
It doesn't matter whether it was before or after he got the news, or after they got the decision.
Yeah.
Because
you just wanted him to be a character later, and then somehow.
Yes, I wanted him to not freaking blow up for not necessarily for no reason, but it was just like, like there was nobody there to check him. Exactly. If this is because it was just like he just got so frustrated that it was like, dang, this was all going my way at first. I got Alicent backing me saying like, Rhaenyra, shut up, let me make my claim. You know what I'm saying? Like he had literally everything ready to go. So
just thinking politically, technically, everything's all good when the non-Targaryens are on your side type thing, and they're like, okay, technically it's going to be theirs, but we're going to sneak you in because we know it's right. But when that plan goes wrong, it's like, I'm just going to go ahead and do another way type thing. You know what I mean? Because but Targaryens are like, oh no, we're team Targaryen. And then Velaryon's like, I'm team Alicent. So if if I get Alicent on my side, we good.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get my land.
Yeah.
But the Targaryens are like, we're gonna make sure we get our land type thing. So like,
yeah,
I can politically, I see what both sides are doing type thing.
Yeah, I see it too. But it's like, even then, bro, like, literally, Alicent is going to do the same thing that Vaemond is doing, because
yes.
But so
with Aegon,
right? So
yeah.
Why can, like, it's only because we haven't seen it that it's not possible. That's what I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on the fact that you can't like you're saying that, like, what I'm saying don't make sense.
I'm just saying it's kind of like you want him to do something that they would have to have another episode or a preview episode for it to make sense. Because all they've done is set up that his brother is cool with the fake king type thing. His wife is cool with the fake king. His wife's not gonna back a real Velaryon type thing. It's kind of like everyone's against actual Velaryon type thing. And his character is the one that's like, we have to go with the truth. I have to go with the truth. And we have never seen any other character in the series so far that was kind of along Team Vaemond, like,
or Team Velaryon, straight Team Velaryon. Yes, because he was the big Velaryon out there, right? But it's, my thing is that, like, we've seen people in Game of Thrones, in House of Dragons, like, literally that could have been Daemon's plan this whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many ways that, like, people could have overthrown them just because of the status of their house. The Velaryons, other than, like, they are, to me, the Velaryons have the strongest house that we've seen on screen.
Yeah, 100%.
So 100%. If the last remaining true person in your house says that, look, these youngins is not true Velaryons, I know my brother is dead, but if we want to continue to be who we are and not fold to these dragon youngins or to people that's connected to them, we've survived in, like he said it, we've survived in the dark times, bro. Like, so you don't think he could make that? He makes that speech to Alicent and Hightower, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else. You don't think that wouldn't inspire the people of the Velaryon people and the Navy's already, like, second command of that, like, I'm
just thinking it's Corlys and Daemon. They are already intermingled with their family, the Velaryons already, like the main Velaryons, like the Targaryens are kind of already mixed family in there. So society wise, I would think, like, that whole kingdom is already accepting of a Targaryen, Velaryon type rule.
Yeah.
Vaemond is like straight up Velaryon bloodline. His brother is more of like, as long as the history book says Velaryon, I'm cool with it. Right. And he can't even fathom having a non guy there. And that's what I'm saying. Society wise, you could be right. There could be some people in the society that want what Vaemond wants. It's just the fact that we've never ever seen it ever in the entire series. And if they did want to make him a character, they should have had, like, more in what's the area? Driftmark. More scenes in Driftmark. But based on what we've seen, it's more of just like, it's a mix of Velaryon and Targaryen. So they're kind of cool with both families type thing.
Yeah. But it's still I just wish, I was like, man, like, he folded himself. Like, that's what I'm upset about.
I'm just not 100% folded. You're like, he folded heavy.
Folded, bro. He folded. Nah, cause literally, like, I don't know, cause I feel like maybe not everybody has been in that situation, but, like, literally, like, when you're just sitting there, bro, and you just hearing what people, like, you just in disbelief.
Like, you're kind of saying, like, he's fine.
I empathize with him. I empathize with Vaemond, because I'm like,
I agree with Vaemond, but I think what you're saying is don't go to the point where it's like treason.
There's no return. Yes.
Because once he called them bastards, it's kind of officially
Rhaenyra
treason.
Whore. Yeah.
You can like slay him without getting in trouble.
Right. But and I was just like, dang.
I'm just like, if he was Corlys, I would say fight another day. Like, make the threat. They are not Velaryon.
It don't matter if he's Corlys. He's second.
He's a bro.
He's a second, bro. It doesn't matter if it's Corlys or it's him. If you are in the main family and you're literally like before, like all his kids are dead, right?
Yeah.
Laenor doesn't have no kids. Laena had kids, right? But like, still, you're still closest to Corlys in that joint. So you got all the facts on your side, right?
Yeah.
Live to fight another day, bro. Daemon said, say it. He just went like that. And I was just like,
because it's literally because he doesn't have a boy. Like, if he had a boy, you know that bro is not going to be mad at anything. But in his mind, it's kind of like, how the only way for me to get to the throne of Driftmark is my brother dying. And if my brother actually is going to die, in his view, he's like, this is the way we save the Velaryons. Like, I have to go and proclaim that I'm worthy of being the actual successor compared to them just rewriting Velaryon history and making it Rhaenyra's kid. So I'm just like, he ain't full because I think he did it right. And the stupid king is unfathomable. I don't even know the word. He is just always there to ensure Targaryens win.
He was the hero. He was the hero. He was the hero this episode, bro. But it's like, it's crazy because I didn't even expect to go down this whole tangent I
like it because like you said, we're two different sides of what should he have done.
Yeah. And it's like, speaking of Viserys, bro, because he went off this joint. People saying like he got his Emmy with this episode, but
that's so weird, really.
Yeah, because I mean, like, for me, this episode was like a heartbreaker, just because it's like, dang, he really been down bad since day one, right? But like, look what it took to bring his family together and for him to have dinner. He didn't even get to eat for real. Like, there's so many things that happen in this episode, from his walk, like to the throne, him telling Otto like, bruh, get out of my seat, you know, to Daemon helping him up. Yep. Daemon helping him up. Like, they had some really, really amazing moments in this joint. And I think for me, the biggest takeaway from Viserys was that it humanized him in a sense. Like, it showed like, yo, he's really a pacifist, and he just really wanted his family to, be cool. Like, he just wants to be a family man, right? And it doesn't work in this world, which is why his whole family hates each other. Yeah, like Vaemond loses it, because it's like, everybody has an ego, right? But when you're a king, that ego turns into laws and turns into, decisions or non-decisions that, like Rhaenyra said, divides them. And I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, Viserys, you wasn't a good king, bro, but I can see you did your best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was expecting to see, not expecting to see, but if I was him, like, for everything that we know about Viserys, he loves old Valyria, right? I would expect to see some type of like architecture and like something built where he is developing the city in his own way. So he might not be a conqueror in the sense of like taking over places, but what he was able to build would be the legacy that he leaves. So, for him to not necessarily feel like he didn't do anything and just be like, hey, I'm just glad that we all here eating at this table. I was like, I felt bad. I ain't gonna count. I was finished at a tear.
I agree. I saw that too, talking about this Emmy moment. I think it's definitely one of the best moments I've seen. Like, everything was magnitudes better once he arrived on screen.
Right.
But man, does it confirm that Viserys was just full on Team Targaryen, team corruption. We are gonna do what I want. That's what's gonna happen. And Vaemond was completely like, the system is corrupt. Like,
yeah.
We're doomed because this skeleton is just too
powerful,
too stubborn. Yeah, it's too powerful. It cannot be defeated. Like,
literally, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna let y'all know, bro. I'm not feeling y'all, and charge it to my head, not my heart." And they took his head, bro. It took his head.
Yeah, that's exactly how Vaemond's like. And I respect Vaemond for it. I respect the king for it, because at the end of the day, I mean, if the king ever went with Vaemond's plan or Vaemond's ideas, technically it would be treason against Rhaenyra, and he's Team Targaryen. Like,
like
we just knew that's never ever gonna happen. So I see both sides, and I give credit to both actors, because, to be honest, that was probably one of the best scenes I've seen in TV in quite a while.
Yeah, in a little bit, bro. And it you know, the people don't talk about this, right? But, you know, some of the best moments from this show came from that big old door in the chamber, bro.
Oh yeah.
Anytime somebody walk through that joint, it's like, whoa. It's like, what's happening? Because I honestly,
total new scene that's about to unfold.
Like, yeah, because I literally had no like thinking that Viserys is going to make it down there. I was like, oh, this is it. I was like, yo, Otto's really finna go with Vaemond's plan, and it's just like, this is how it is, bro.
Just corruption, no matter what. Like, they snuck in the plan. It's like the government. They snuck in a bill.
Yeah,
they snuck in something sneaky right there, and then they're like, all right, the meeting's going good. No one's talking about that. That, and then it's like, oh man, here comes the president.
You can't win.
President sat there and said, "What's this? What's this right here?"
Like, it's like, he was like, "Man, I don't understand. What I thought we had we already know what's supposed to go down."
This man said veto. And that's why Vaemond was like, bruh." But I have a question for you, because I know this one's running long.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if Corlys is alive?
What
do you think? Now that we see what happened.
Oh, that now that he knows Daemon killed his brother.
And Rhaenys done
folded.
Kind of folded.
Yeah. She just went with her brother. So if he's alive, bro, first off, I don't think he's gonna be able to do much, because he's probably gonna be bedridden for a little bit. But when he hears the actual news,
that makes more sense for me to go to war type thing, because
but
it's like, he killed my brother.
That'd be a 3-way war, though.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, even if he's bedridden, then you have what you're saying. You have the people's support. They killed our guy for calling out the truth.
But it's a truth that he's not accepting either, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the main issue too. Yeah.
Yeah. So because he's not accepting what the truth was already, you know, and he hasn't built up his grandchildren to be anything, like you would think, instead of Daemon's daughter being there in Driftmark, that Luke would have been there, you know, like, to build him up in the sense of like, yo, like, this is what we do. You think he'd be on the high seas with him anytime he goes somewhere, like being a true apprentice. But, you know, that's not necessarily the case, bro, because we don't really know, you know, how he's even took his son's death, you know, essentially, like, or fake death.
Very true.
Because,
Very true.
You know, like, maybe he hasn't been home since, and he's just been out there on the high seas, pillaging and pulling up on people's cribs. So,
and now that your theory about this, he should have lived and fight another day.
Yeah.
Technically, what's the son's name?
Which one? Luke?
Corlys.
Oh, Laenor.
Laenor, he's still out and about.
Yeah.
Like, he would be the perfect one to come back to take Driftmark back, type thing. If he really felt some type of way about.
But that would mean he'd be taking it from his son.
His not actual son, though.
Yeah, but he raised him, though. You know?
See, this man, Vaemond, he done for. Everyone's just against.
Bruh,
everyone is Team Targaryen somehow.
He can't win.
Like, it's a spider web. Of Targaryen's plots working.
Right. And it's just it was just like, I was like, dang, bro. I was like, yo, you really said it, and that was just it for you. Like, I was just like, bro, like in the moment, I was like, yeah, Daemon, like just because it's like, you know, I'm still Team Targaryen, but like I didn't like how he snuck him. I ain't like that part, but
he didn't have to do it like that. He could have just stabbed him. He just straight up took off his head.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm put this right back, and we're gonna go on with our day. You know,
it just really shows the Targaryens are so corrupt, bro.
And it's like, bro, like their face when Viserys walked in, like Alicent and Otto, bro, they was just like, oh no, all the work that we have put in to make
the supreme ruler.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, like you just. He just messing like now the show really starts. I feel like, you know, like as far as
I talk about the last scene.
Yeah,
I know we did wrong, but this was worth it.
I know. Sometimes it just got to be like that. Sometimes it demands that. But, yeah. So after that, you know, they have their dinner and stuff. He gives his speech, which was good. I think Viserys' speech was good. But you know, Alicent or Rhaenyra tries to bury the hatchet, and obviously Alicent's going to return the favor in the most, you know, non-real way possible. I'm not buying none of this stuff from her, bro. But we also seen the kids reunite, you know, and this man Aemon is a dog, bro. Like he said, he told his nephews early, he was like, yo, you want to train? You know, because I remember putting in mad work since he done got that dragon, and he actually looks like the older brother now. You know?
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why.
They messed that casting up, you know.
They did.
Like they didn't make Aegon look any older, you know. But I don't know. It's the family dinner was nice, but it was cool to see that the tension was still there once Viserys left. So how did you feel about that whole thing before we get into the main scene?
It was a great scene, but it's mainly that family tension seeping through since that young childhood encounter in the caves, and then even that family tension. It just seems like exactly the same. Yeah. They transported all that energy into this scene at the table. And them Targaryen kids, they are arrogant as ever. Like,
but they know not to mess with Daemon though. Daemon stand in front of Aemon. He's like, all right, Don, that's I seen your work.
Did it feel weird when he looked at Daemon? It was like I'm looking in a mirror.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it was like they the same person. Yeah,
crazy
second brother.
But amazing scene. I like that they're just straight up bullies.
Yeah,
and the little strong joke.
Nah, the pig was the funniest one though. Bro. Them putting the pig in front of Aemon, and that's what started it all. I like that a lot.
It's just so, and it's wild because Aegon married his sister, right?
Yeah. Like he didn't want to do that either.
Yeah, it's just that's why like sometimes time skips, especially with a series like this.
Yeah,
it is so good that more episodes would not hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
A dull episode would not hurt this because all the characters would
get more
literally
context.
Get better.
Yeah,
they would literally get better. We could see these characters try plot points that make sense.
Yeah,
but we just don't see it. So like we don't, we barely see the girl on screen, and all of a sudden she's married to Aegon.
I didn't even catch that at first until she said it. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, huh? What you mean?
He only gets drunk. He only gets mad when he's drunk. I was like, hold up.
Y'all doing that Targaryen thing over there?
Run that back. And they already got kids too. So that's crazy work. That's super crazy.
Work.
Yeah.
Because
remember she came into the room when the servant girl was supposed to dress the kids, and she told that to Alicent.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together. I was thinking like, oh, Alicent was talking about her. Did she have any more kids? I don't know.
No,
I don't think she had any more kids, right?
I don't know. I have to watch back now because I missed that.
I don't think she had any more kids. So like, but I didn't take that was her daughter in that moment. I took it as like, oh, that was another, like, because she did say that he had kids or something like that. But I don't know. That's besides the point. They are doing the Targaryen thing, and that's all. That's all we know about that.
They're menaces, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but before we get to the most implicating portion of the episode, which was the last scene, we got to talk about somebody that makes a return, and that was Maseri. I think that's how you say her name, Maseri, the brothel owner that had the spies in the castle. Now, this is not a huge thing, but the fact that they brought her back just means that we're going to get to see more of her coming forward, and probably in the next season, because she looks like she's probably going to turn into the Master of Whispers and something like that. But what'd you think about seeing her in the later parts of the episode?
I'm just wondering if that secret scene at the end of the episode, is that her baby with Daemon?
No way.
They talked about, I'm not going to be held down by pregnancy or whatever, or something like that. And I'm like, I got to find out who baby that is. But I'll glad to see her.
That's gotta be Aegon's baby. Because why would it be in a pig stall if she owns a brothel? You know what I'm saying? Like, that Joan was playing in some hay. But that was.
I'm glad to see her, because, like I said, returning characters are always good. Because compared to this series where they introduce a character, they get lines, and you're just like, they're gonna be gone this episode. Like, if they start talking, they're dead.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into the final words of Viserys, man. Like,
yes.
What did you think about that?
I'm gonna ask you this.
All right.
Not what you think about it. Straight into it. Viserys has his last dying wishes, or last kind of what are the words before he dies, and Alicent is receiving them. Yeah. The question to you: who do you think he was talking about?
Rhaenyra.
Do you think he was talking about Rhaenyra?
I think he was talking to Rhaenyra. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So Viserys was all his last words before he's about to die. He's talking about Rhaenyra being on the throne and confirming that she should be on the throne.
I don't know about that part, but I thought he was talking more so about the prophecy. That's what I thought he was reciting. Yeah, like, I thought he was talking to Rhaenyra. I don't think he knew he was talking to Alicent at that point, because Rhaenyra was the last person that talked to him in the bed, essentially, because nobody really talked to the king when he was speaking at the dinner. So I'm thinking like if that's the case, like, who would he think about in his last wishes? Not Alicent at all. So,
and I thought he told some type of story like that to Rhaenyra in like
episode. Yeah, that's what's on the dagger. That was the prophecy that was on the dagger of, like, the ice and the Night King and things like that. That's like the one true Targaryen, which is like Jon Snow, the chosen one, or whatever. And
do you believe this is the scene that literally causes the Targaryens' downfall?
Yeah,
that is the scene.
This is the one
actually ruins everything, because of his dying words that only Alicent got to hear.
And they kept naming all their kids after each other. Yep, it's too many Aegons, it's too many Viseryses. Like it's bound to get mixed up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and obviously in the time of the birth, like, Viserys knows about the prophecy, but he doesn't necessarily know when it's supposed to happen. You know, and if obviously he's going to name his first son Aegon, just because it's like, who's the guy, you know? So I've seen things out there that's saying that, you know, Aegon is Rhaenyra's Aegon is going to be the Mad King in the future, but who knows? Like, that's the line that goes down, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it's like Aegon had a kid and that's actually the Mad King, or like,
right.
It's hard to track which one actually is the Mad King.
Ends up being the Mad King, yeah.
Yeah, I just know it's not Aegon that we see.
It's not Aegon the second. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think it was like, I mean, it's going to set up for, like, it feels like it's next week is the finale for some reason. Like, and it's the way they set up. Yeah, it's not. It's going to be the 9th episode. So I'm super, super excited about that.
And it feels like Alicent, like you said, she's been getting dirty down and dirty. Yep, she's gonna run with this thing.
She's gonna go stupid.
She's about to subtweet everything. she has all the power now, and she's just gonna straight face. The king's last words were,
she told me.
Aegon is the true heir.
Yeah. Like, what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? I'm not lying.
Yeah. You going to test? You going to say I'm lying? The queen, his wife. You know, I was the last one to see him alive.
Like exactly that face. I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. So, last minute.
This is what we finna do, bruh. Straight like that.
Yo, the corruption is crazy no matter what.
But it's going to set up for some good freaking TV because, you know, the amount of firepower and just like that was the last time skip. So, you know, the plans are going to start to have to happen, you know, and I don't think Rhaenyra is going to come back because she was planning on coming back. I don't know if she's going to come back by dragon back by herself at least, because they end up getting killed or something like that, and she's pregnant. So it's like,
I mean, does this split Driftmark and Dragonstone?
Dragonstone,
right? Because wouldn't they not agree with Aegon being on the throne? I don't know. Like I said, the next episode is literally gonna be crazy.
Would it split Driftmark, Dragonstone? Why?
Because it's like Rhaenyra is supposed to be the heir.
Yeah.
Rhaenys is cool with Rhaenyra being the heir, and she's cool with her son being the heir to Driftmark. So it's kind of like, we know Corlys is gone. Technically, Rhaenys is the owner of Driftmark right now.
Yeah.
If they ascend Aegon, who is technically not the succession person, he's the king and Alicent.
Kid.
It's like a much different scenario than Rhaenyra or the king having like the firstborn type thing. So I'm just wondering, like, do you think Driftmark is just going to be like, oh, it is what it is, we're still cool with the?
I think Driftmark will stay the same, or
like cool.
Yeah, because what's his name is dead now, so there's no reason for them to necessarily like get them on their bad side, other than making Aegon the new ruler. Like they might like Corlys or Rhaenys might not like that per se, but I don't know if that's something they're willing to go to war over right away. I think they'll be in a standstill of like, okay, we gotta see whose side looks the strongest, and then we're gonna back them. But
because like the king's last words were, Driftmark belongs to Rhaenyra's son. It's kind of like affirmation of, I haven't changed my mind on who's the heirs of stuff. Like, what are y'all talking about? Yeah. And then only took, he passed away, and then all of a sudden, hey, Aegon is it. I don't know what and then everyone kind of be like, I thought we had meetings after meetings after meetings that.
I think it's going to be a decision that we won't get right away.
Okay. So just little rumbles, but not actually.
Yeah, because like the king dying is going to be a big deal regardless. So the aftermath of how quickly things move past that is like picking the size is going to be very important. So I don't think they're going to make a rash decision when it comes to that. But go ahead. What you about to say?
And one thing is, we did see the scene of the keep. The citizens do not want Rhaenyra type thing. So it could just be that the king dies and the citizens are like,
you never liked her anyway. She ain't been
here.
Don't
like her anyway. Yeah, type thing. Yeah. And then they're saying, we just can't do it. The people are going to overthrow us. So Aegon, good luck.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I just feel like it's going to be a civil war with those two main houses. So the Hightowers and Targaryens. And the Greens versus the Blacks, but it only will make sense for Driftmark to go with the Blacks, just because obviously Rhaenys is a Targaryen, and then also their grandkids are Targaryens, and that's who their granddaughters are going to marry the Rhaenyra's kids. So they would just probably automatically choose them. But we'll have to wait and see. We don't know what's finna happen, bro. It's just know it's finna go crazy. Alicent was running through the streets talking about, yo, it's up from now. It's like, nah, but she didn't say all that. But
She's gonna
go crazy, bro. I know Alo's licking his chops when he hear that Aegon supposed to be on the throne. He gonna be like, oh yes, this is what we've been waiting for. I knew it.
It's just so crazy because it's just like low key. Everyone would think she would just whisper and say, "Yeah, right before he died, he said that." Like, no, he did not. Do not do that.
I mean, nobody's gonna believe it. Like, but she doesn't care. She's not gonna care, and she's the most powerful in the kingdom. So, basically going against her would be treason, and we know that she's not afraid to get her hands dirty. So, it'll be a crazy, crazy thing to see. But other than that, I think that's it for this episode of the House of the Dragon. Chris, what are you geeked about, man?
Oh man, they got a spooky thing on Netflix. I think it's called like the Midnight Club, and it's pretty much like the 4th season of a series that really went crazy with like the Crooked Neck Lady, the book The Turning of the Screw, and last year it was the Midnight Mass. So now it's their 4th one. I'm super excited to watch that series. It dropped this week, but I didn't get a chance to watch it all. But yeah, it's supposed to be a little scary. A bunch of kids summoning some demons or something, like some type of cult type thing. It's spooky season, so no matter what, it's going to be something scary. And all those series have been really good. I definitely recommend them on Netflix, and hopefully this one's real good. So that's the only thing I'm geeked about. What about you, G? Is there something special coming up?
I wouldn't say it's nothing special. It's more like a obligation. I feel like we gotta have one spooky episode this week. So, I'm not geeked about this, but we do plan on going seeing Halloween Ends. That's what it's called. Yeah, Halloween Ends, and we're gonna do an episode on that. I don't know how eventful that episode gonna be, but I'm gonna try, because I might run out the theater. I don't know, but what I'm actually geeked about this week is Amsterdam. Amsterdam came out last week, and it was really good. I really liked it. I don't know if that's how everybody else feels. I've heard mixed opinions. Like, people are saying like they didn't see the movie, but from what they was told, that people didn't like it, and I don't know why. I thought the movie was phenomenal, all-star cast, and I'm excited to put my review about that this week. And then other than that, my Cowboys going crazy. The defense is like that, I didn't get to ask you if the Commanders won last week, but
no, they did not. I was at the stadium, and they don't win games often.
Yeah, so I mean, my boys is up, that can get his good rest and come back and take over. So next week's gonna be super important. We gotta play the Eagles, and they undefeated right now. So we gonna see how that goes. What you say?
I'm gonna watch that game. That's gonna be some high quality football, and I'm just hoping them dirty Dallas Cowboys do not end up taking over the world with a win against the Eagles, because it's gonna go crazy if that happens.
Yeah, but I hope we win. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Why I'm Geeked show, man. If you enjoyed this episode, you made it to this far. This is a pretty long episode. We appreciate y'all. Y'all been going crazy on YouTube as well with all the clips and things like that. We just hit 40 subs on YouTube as well, so that's a cool milestone. We're going for 50 now. That's the next one up. But we're gonna see y'all next week, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube to watch more episodes if you like this joint. And also, if you are listening on your favorite audio platforms, make sure you follow us there as well, and rate the podcast, man. All the ratings help out a lot. But other than that, man, we see y'all next week. Stay geeked. Peace.
Catch y'all later.
Oh, I did it right.
I was a little worried that you weren't going to get it right this time. I was like, oh no, here it comes.